Okay, I'm doing a video today. Uh, what triggered this is something that happened, somewhat to vent, and then also as a warning to other people if you come across this. Now, there's lots of videos on YouTube regarding narcissism. I listen to from time to time because of my family of origin issues. Now, I came across this one that a new, a new video basically, right? Sometimes I come across new ones, so I'll listen to them. Um, Turned out to be a disaster. This is the warning. There's some people on here that are claiming they've been narcissistically abused. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. But the thing that I find disturbing is these same people, I think they're narcissists themselves. And some of the red flags is the pity party, um, like the crying on the video. You know what? It just sounds fake. There's nothing wrong with crying, but the thing is, when you think about it, if you're upset, right? And if you're going to do a video, doesn't it make sense? If you want to cry, it's 24 hours in a day, cry all you want. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're doing the video, why not have some control over your emotions so that when you're doing the video, you're explaining, just like if you're really angry, I don't see what purpose it serves if your emotions are totally out of control and you're doing the video like that. Okay, I've come across videos before like this, and usually the person is emotionally manipulating people into either they're getting supply from the pity, they want pity from people, they're getting supply. Sometimes they ask for donations, they want money. It's a form of a supply. It's like they want attention, but they want you to feel sorry for them, they want pity. I don't know, I just don't agree with that. I don't know. It just doesn't go sit right with me. Anyways, so there's this videos I come across. I listened to some of them. So what happened was I basically it was regarding I have to find it if I'm going to read what said because the comments because I was what I said basically the person YouTube has changed like people if they like let's say they don't like what you say or something they want to block you or something when you're logged in to your account, your comment will show up. But if you're logged out, like signed out, and you watch the video, your comment disappears. That's like someone basically blocked you or deleted your comment or whatever. So this is what happened to me. And this is the part that pisses me off. Everyone has a right to their opinion. Everyone has the right to disagree with you or anyone else or me or whoever. So to me, if you can't handle for anybody, if you can't, and this is myself included, if you can't handle someone disagreeing with you, not seeing things the way you do, then don't allow comments on your videos then. You know, me personally, I don't care if someone disagrees with me because everyone has a right to their opinion, even if they're wrong. Now, I'm not saying everyone's wrong, but I'm just saying if you feel really strongly about something, there's nothing wrong with that. And if someone disagrees with you, there's nothing wrong with that because not everyone sees things the same. Not everyone has the same life experience. You can't expect everyone to agree with you. Okay, so whatever. So basically, it seems that some people they can't handle. I don't want that to start playing. They can't handle. Let's just wait a minute here. They can't handle when someone disagrees with them. So I don't get that. I really don't. Like, if you really have a problem with that, this to me the solution is just don't have comments enabled on your videos. You know, if you can't handle someone disagreeing with you. I don't see why it matters, really. Not everyone's going to agree with everybody. But this is where I take issues. So this is what happened. I'm not going to name names. I don't have to. It's just a scenario, and I will read what I said, but it's just a scenario, and it's just the attitude of someone um, that I feel they treated me like dog shit for whatever reason. I got some kind of problem. Okay, that isn't my problem, and what? Why should I pay for it, kind of thing, right? So this video I listened to is regarding basically psychosomatic illnesses. And the reason I related to that is because my mom has done that where she's used exaggerated and or feigned illnesses for attention. So I could relate to that, right? So what I usually do is like I don't feel sorry for people because I don't think that's useful. And I don't like people feeling sorry for me either. If someone feels sorry for me, it makes me angry. I don't like that. So that's not what I'm looking out to do, as I wouldn't do something to someone else that I don't want. So I'm not feeling sorry for a person, but what I do usually is like if I can relate to it, I'll empathize with the person and I can relate to the situation. And then I might say something that is similar that happened to me in for the reason of relating to the other person, to their situation, empathizing, and or um, giving suggestion or advice or whatever how to overcome it or deal with it. Because I like to fix things. Like it's fine to complain, but if something's wrong, I like to basically fix things. That's just how I am. Okay, so then in this case, this is what I tried to do. So I listened to this video, and this is the problem. I don't know why, like, I don't think it doesn't seem like anyone else picked up on this when you looked at the comments. Um, this person presumably was a golden child, and then maybe, I'm not sure, maybe became a scapegoat later on, maybe not. But one thing that was clear is in this particular person's family, there is a particular scapegoated sister. And in this video, she made reference to this scapegoated sister and called her evil. I took issue with that because, and the reason is because I happen to be the scapegoat of my family, and being a scapegoat basically means that all the family's crap is dumped on you. You're abused, you're treated like garbage, you're blamed for everything, even things aren't your fault. So for this person to state that the scapegoat is evil in the video, that's acting like a narcissist. She's basically scapegoating the scapegoated sister by saying that in the video. I have a problem with that. That sends some red flags up for me because I'm thinking if you suffered narcissistic abuse in your family and the other thing is this person seems to I've watched more than one video. The person seems to wants to elicit pity out of people. That's the impression I get because the person is not controlling their emotions. They're crying. I don't know if it's fake or real. Sometimes I kind of wonder because in one video it's like the person's crying and then they're kind of haha and then they're talking normal. I mean, normally emotions don't shift like that unless you maybe got borderline personality disorder, which I kind of wonder maybe that person has that. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I can assume things. But this is not normal. So I thought, okay, something's up with this, something's not right. Because if this person suffered narcissistic abuse and then I'm presuming was a golden child and later was scapegoated or whatever, why would the person refer to the scapegoated sister as evil? Because that's like what something a narcissist would do, really. Because, like I said, the scapegoat is the one who gets all the crap dumped on them. So that didn't sit well with me. So what I did, even though I empathized with the part about with feigned illnesses and getting attention, I took issue with that comment. So I'm going to read exactly what I said verbatim and the response and then what I said and then that. So this is, and then like I said, I believe unless something's changed when you log out of you log in the account, I could see my comment, but you log out of the account, I can't see it. So I believe that I'm still. I think the person basically. I think they blocked me and deleted the comment. Which the person they can do whatever they want, right? It's their channel. But whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna read what I said because, like I said, in that video, the person made reference to the scapegoat being evil, and I had a problem with that. I have a problem with that because what I know about what being a scapegoat is, and because I happen to be a scapegoat, and on behalf of all the other scapegoats out there. I didn't like that. It didn't sit well with me. So this is what I said. I said, did you say that the scapegoat was evil? Why would you say that? A scapegoat has all the family's problems and sins dumped on them. If your scapegoated sister was angry, then that is understandable, since scapegoats are abused and treated unfairly. That breeds resentment. It is not uncommon at all that the scapegoat ends up resenting the golden child because of favoritism. As for the attention seeking with illnesses, if someone is really sick and you have a normal relationship, then fine, but the narcissist will stage things to get some sort of supply. By the way, I'm the scapegoat in my family, and I am not evil. My mother has pulled these medical stunts on me in the past. An example, once I was at her home sitting in a chair and she literally staged a fall on the floor right in front of me. There was no reason for this and I didn't react. She ended up having to get up because the whole thing was fake. When that didn't work, then she left the room and came back with some dried up old flowers and shoved them in my face. Then she proceeded to go to one of the bedrooms and start crying and complaining about not being invited for Christmas dinners. All this, yet my golden child sister hasn't had her over for Christmas dinners for decades, yet that is okay. Because I am the scapegoat, I get all the shit dumped on me. Yet I did invite her over for many years for all the holiday dinners, and made them even when I was very ill, yet she has gratitude for completely nothing. She stated that it wasn't human how she was being treated, yet her and my golden child sister excluded me from holiday dinners when I was alone as a single parent with small babies, and that was okay. One time she came over to my home on Easter and asked me if it was okay to take my small child over to my golden child sister's house for Easter dinner. Was I invited? No. I was to sit home alone while she went with my child over to my sister's house. Of course I stated no and she left. To her that must be human treatment because I am the scapegoat, but if someone treated her like that, it would be inhuman. These people only care about themselves and are just out for power and control and think everyone owes them something, whether it be time, money, and attention, or all of the above. Okay, so the reason I made that comment, like I said, I could relate to what the person's talking about regarding these illness things, these fake illnesses or exaggerated or whatever. That was the only reason. That was that. And giving my situation as an example. That's it. It wasn't this all about me thing or anything. That's not how I operate. That's just how I do things is an empathize, relate to something that's similar, and then give an example and possibly a solution how to handle it or what it means to me. Okay, so then I guess this person didn't take too kindly to my comment. Like this person likes to give little hearty heart things. I don't know, whatever. Um, I guess that's liking comment. I don't know what the whatever little hearts there to most everybody. I didn't get one. Oh well, boo hoo. Okay, so this is the response I got. Not all scapegoats turn out to be narcissists, like my sister and mother, but it is not as uncommon as you might think. I said she was evil because her actions were evil, not that hard to understand. That's all she said. That's her reply to me. She totally ignored everything else I said, was trying to empathize with the situation, totally ignored it. Totally ignored it. Glossed it right over. Didn't get what I was saying at all. Totally glossed it all over. Totally ignored it. Totally invalidated what I said. And kind of snippy. Not that hard to understand. That's condescending. It's kind of snippy. So that's what I got. Now I think at that point in time she still left the comment out, but you know what? I didn't appreciate that comment. I thought it was ignorant. So I replied to that. You know, I never back down from confrontations. Confrontations don't scare me. I don't like people being smart ass with me. Like, I was trying to be empathetic. And she doesn't have to agree with me, but I just thought it was ignorant that she called her scapegoat sister evil. And she's a golden child, so whatever, right? Of course she's going to say that, right? And yet she's doing videos like she's the victim. Really? Okay. This thing, like I said, it don't sit right with me. So what I did was I responded to that and I said, it seems you have lack of empathy here. Scapegoats are not the type of people to be narcissists because if they were, then they wouldn't be targeted as scapegoats. The ones who become the narcissist are actually the golden children. Golden children are arrogant, think they know everything, have entitlement issues, don't like to be challenged, etc. My sister is the golden child and she exhibits some narcissistic traits. She lacks empathy and doesn't understand another person's position. I feel that you don't understand my position either. You totally ignored what I was getting at, and that is very telling. Perhaps you have the roles reversed because what you are relaying doesn't make any sense. I tried to listen to the other video to be fair before I comment, but the one regarding your scapegoated sister. I thought you contacted her and made amends. Why would you do that if she is a narcissist? In that video, you stated your mother and golden child sister were the narcissists, but yet you are saying your scapegoat sister is the narcissist. Very confusing. Okay, so I found that somewhat, because I did listen to more than one video, and she's referring to her mother as mother, and her golden child sister is a narcissist and also her scapegoated sister. And then in another breath, in one other video, she'll say that her she feels sorry for how her scapegoated sister was treated, or she made amends with her scapegoated sister. See, none of this makes sense to me. It's like a contradiction. So I don't get it. Either she doesn't know what the difference is between a scapegoat and a golden child, or she's playing mind game. I don't know what it is. I really don't. I don't get it. It's like being on both sides of the fence at the same time. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so then after that, and then I was thinking more stuff, and then I thought about this. Not that hard to understand is kind of condescending. So I kind of had a problem with that. So then I made another comment. So I said, I have a problem with your response. Not that hard to understand. I find this comment arrogant and condescending. There's something really not right here. I feel as if you are smearing the scapegoat and not really understanding what that role entails. When you insult me for telling the truth and totally ignore what I have said in context, is that not narcissistic behavior? Like I said, there's something not right here. Things aren't always as they seem on the surface. Actually, the ultimate scapegoat was Jesus Christ. All the sins of the whole world were heaped upon him. Are you going to say that Jesus Christ is a narcissist? I don't think you understand what being the scapegoat really is. From what you stated in one of your videos, you were the golden child, so how can you understand what being the scapegoat is like if you've never been one? Something to consider. Okay, so the reason I said that was because I really didn't appreciate her saying not that hard to understand. Okay, when I did try to empathize with the situation, and she totally invalidated what I said. I don't like being treated like that. I really don't. I take issue with that. So I think, I don't know, truth hurts or whatever, but she didn't seem to like what I said. And I think that after that point, I think then she did the blocking thing or whatever. Because you look at the video when you're not signed in and then the comment disappears. So that tells me that's she blocked it, delete the comments or whatever. That's how it works, right? Okay, so she responds to that comment. This is what she says. She says, "You seem to have a lack of education on what makes somebody a narcissist. I figured you were the scapegoat. Not everything is about you, though, hun." Okay. Another ignorant, ignorant ass comment. So you know what? She blocks me. She doesn't have this my comments appearing on the video. Yet she responds to that, saying something like that. But then she makes it so no one else can see it except me. Because if I'm blocked in the comments or blocked or deleted or whatever, not really deleted because they're still there if I sign in. But if I sign out, I mean I'd have to double check up to sign out because I'm signed in right now. But if I sign out, the comment won't appear. So she wanted me to see this comment, but she doesn't want anyone else to see it. You see, because that's manipulative, okay? Because she wants to get the final jab in, so to speak, have the last say, get the final jab in, and wants to make sure I see it. But at the same time, want to make sure no one else sees it because it's unblocked. It's very telling. What's this crap about I have a lack of education? Bullshit. Bullshit. And then I figured you're the scapegoat. More disregard for scapegoats. Bullshit. Not everything's about you, hun. Why is she calling me hun? I don't know this person. It's a term of endearment. It's not sincere. Where does she get this that I'm thinking not everything's about me? Where is she getting that from? I don't get that. Because I was trying to be empathetic and relate to what she was saying in her video and give an example from my life. Does that, she takes that as thinking everything's about me? I never said that. Trying to relate to her and her video and what she went through. How is that everything's about me? You know what I think personally? I think this person's projecting what she thinks onto me. That's what she does. That's how she is. Because in a lot of her videos, she's talking about herself all the time. It's all about her. And it's very mundane things she's saying that really don't matter to anybody. Okay? Kind of like even like making a diary of yourself or something and uploading it. I don't really believe anybody cares about every little mundane detail of your life. I don't see the point to that really. And out of control emotions and a lot of this crying thing. I don't know if it's real or not. Sometimes I kind of wonder if it's just acting or exaggerating. And seems to, I really have a strong feeling. I sense that it's person seems to want to. They want sympathy. They want pity. They want it. They want. It's a pity party. They want pity. So I don't know where this is coming from. I think this person's projecting a crap on me. Really, that's what I really think. Okay. So even though I know that I'm blocked and all that, I thought, okay, you want to have the last word. This is what I think of this. Okay, and then after that, I'll leave it alone. So I said, I know you blocked my responses, and based on your response to me, very typical. I never said everything was about me. You said that. If you even bothered to read my comment, you can see I was trying to relate to you in regards to your mother and the feigned illnesses. But you conveniently ignored all of that. You have invalidated me. For your information, I am not uneducated at all. Just because someone doesn't agree with you doesn't make them uneducated. It is a doctor who has to formally diagnose a narcissist. Do you know all the traits? Traits of a scapegoat are not the traits of a narcissist. Actually, quite the opposite. It's very telling that you insult me and then block my comment. Have to have the last say? Sorry, but something is not right here. I won't waste any more of my time trying to empathize with you. I feel sorry for your scapegoated sister, and hopefully she can overcome such a toxic waste dump of a family. Thank you. So that was my last comment. I'm leaving it at that. Okay, this really, what really bothers me about this, it's not if someone disagrees with me. It's being basically, I feel treated disrespectfully like shit for trying to empathize with somebody and being totally invalidated by someone totally ignoring what I said, like I said nothing, and twisting things around and making it ugly when it wasn't meant to be that way. And yet, if I read through the other comments, see, this is what she seems to want. She wants everyone to pat her on the back and agree with her and feel sorry for her. All those kinds, that's what she likes. I'm not going to read other people's comments. It's not for me to do that. That's what she seems to be out for supply. It's like a pity party thing. She's getting supply from this, you know. So all I'm saying, and I've come across some other ones too, but there's a lot of stuff on here on these people. You don't know who these people are. Some of these people aren't who they say they are. Some of them, they're narcissists themselves. And or they got maybe this one could be a case of a narcissist or a borderline personality disorder. I don't know what it is. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a doctor. Like for instance, just to interject, like with my mom, right? I believe she's a narcissist. Personally, I do. But has she been formally diagnosed? No. If you really want to push it to the limit, a doctor needs to diagnose, and to have a formal diagnosis, a doctor has to do that. I'm not a doctor. All I can do is say what I think. It's my opinion based on the behavior, right? And even with the traits like and the DSM or whatever it is, okay, they have so many traits. You have to have so many out of so many traits. Plus, it has to be over a consistent period of time, over a period of time consistently, you know, before you even be diagnosed as anything. Because, like, as an example, a person could be crazy, but yet at times they may act normal, but they're still crazy. On the flip side, a person could be normal, but there might be times they could act crazy. So it's kind of like, okay, what are the traits of a narcissist? And then they have all these traits, and then there's certain ones they have, and then how many of them do you have or don't have? And then over a period of time, how many is it consistent, behavior that you're doing this? And the doctor, is the one who needs to diagnose this. In some cases, people call people narcissists, and in reality, they're not narcissists. It could be just jerks or assholes or whatever you want to call them. Not everyone's a narcissist. I think sometimes this goes overboard, as in everyone's labels everyone that they don't like as a narcissist or whatever. Um, I don't think that's right. And in fact, I don't know, like with this sister of hers, because she's the scapegoat, I don't know this person. I don't know what she did. She didn't say what she did. I'm not going to listen to all her dumb videos either to figure it out. Um, to call that person evil based on what? And yet some of the videos, like describing what this person does, maybe you could consider this person did something evil. So she did something wrong. Is she evil too? She didn't call herself that. I just took issue with that because, like I said, the scapegoat is the one that gets all the crap dumped on them. They get abused by their family, treated like garbage. They have to deal with this the rest of their life and work through these issues. And then, they're further abused by being called evil and insulted. And just like the person said, not all scapegoats turn out to be narcissists like your sister and mother, but it's not as uncommon as you might think. Like, get out of here. Not that hard to understand. Like, who do you think you are? Like, really? What a what a jerk or whatever. I don't know who this person is. I don't really care. But like I said, I just didn't like what happened. I didn't think it was very nice. So a warning to people out there. Other people have said this too. I've come across other videos where people are saying that there's people on here that they're narcissists themselves and they're doing this pity party thing. So yeah, I have a problem with that. It's not good. So that was basically the venting thing. I don't know. Anyways, so as a side note, I'm not going to do a separate video, just mention something as a side note. So with the hoovering thing, I guess you call it, um, this year on Christmas Day, my mom actually phoned. But you see, I have call display now. I don't never had it before. I didn't care to have it. Like, who cares? But they changed things with the internet phone thing, so I have the call display. So I'm upstairs in the bedroom. So I seen my mom on there, so I didn't answer it. And my husband answered it and talked to her. So she phoned on Christmas Day, and then again on New Year's Eve. And again, I never answered it. He talked to her. So she's trying her up to her old tricks. Didn't work because I didn't respond. Like, I didn't talk to her. I didn't answer the phone. I didn't talk to her. I have no desire to phone her back or anything. Just basically ignored it. And it's I've it's taken me decades to get to that point. A long time. So I might have a itsy bitsy bitsy tinge of guilt. Not a whole lot. Because I know she's the same person. She's probably up to some old tricks trying to fish me in, trying to bait me, see if I'm gonna bite, and wants to start the cycle all over again. And I think the reason is because she was in contact with my kids, and which caused a whole lot of shit there. And basically, I think the on that one the shit hit the fan. So then she's trying to see if the door's open over here. And it isn't, because she has not apologized for anything. She hasn't resolved anything. She doesn't want to resolve anything. Um, she just wants to pick up like nothing's wrong and start the cycle all over again. I'm getting too old for this. I don't want to do it. So like I said, I didn't fall for it. I didn't talk to her. I didn't phone her back. I didn't bite the bait. And I find it suspect because There's 365 days in the year. Why does she need to phone on Christmas Day? And I happened to be sick on that day a little bit. And I was making, because I always make, even sick or not, it don't matter. I always make the dinners by myself, and I cook for like, I don't know, anywhere from 6 to 8 hours. And I was a little bit behind because, like I said, I didn't feel too well, so I'm a little bit slow, but I still do it. So, anyways, so I was a little bit delayed. So then she phoned in the early evening, and then again phones on New Year's Eve. Again, the same thing, like early evening. I don't think that's a coincidence, considering there's 365 days in the year. So I didn't bite the bait, I didn't fall for it. I didn't talk to her. My husband handled it both times because it doesn't bother him. So, whatever. She said whatever. I didn't talk to her, didn't phone her back. And what's weird is I'm sure I don't know what she's up to, but it's up to something, but it didn't work. But like she's talking to my husband, she didn't even ask, like, to talk to me or anything. It's kind of weird. So it's kind of like she phones my house. It's like she's willing to talk to whoever picks up the phone. It don't really matter. I kind of feel like I'm invisible again. This is the thing that bothers me. That's what triggered me on this video I was talking about. Is because I'm trying to be empathetic and relate to this person, what happened to her, and she is invalidating me and treating me like like I don't count, like I don't matter, like I'm invisible. And that bothers me because that's how I was treated when I was growing up. So that pisses me off. So if someone treats me like that, I tell them off. I don't just put up with it. And that's what this person did. She's a jerk to me. To me, she's a jerk. And to say stuff like, I figured you were the scapegoat. Not everything is about you, though, hun. Really? What a jerk. Okay. I have a right to my opinion, too. Like saying, naming who this person is, someone figures it out, oh well. Yeah, to me, what a jerk. I don't have the time. When someone shows who they are to me like that, you're going to treat me like that, that's okay. You go right ahead. You treat me like that, that's okay. I don't got time of day for you. I wouldn't bother. I made some comments on some other videos before the poop hit the fan here, and all those like 6 unblocked, right? So then none of them disappear. All they all disappear. So then I thought they were good comments. Whatever. So if I'm gonna be treated, I don't like being treated like dirt. I don't accept that. Because like I said, I'm the scapegoat of my family. I'm getting too old for this. I don't accept it. I don't like being treated like dirt. I don't like being invalidated. I have right to my opinion like anyone else. No one, I never said anyone has to agree with me. That's fine. But I still have right to my opinion like anyone else. And it was valid. And I don't appreciate it if I'm trying to be empathetic with someone and relate to, their situation, and they basically kick me in the ass for it. This has happened to me before, this isn't the first time. And then I ask myself, okay, why do I even bother? Why the hell should I even bother to get treated like that? It ain't worth it to me. Why bother? And her responses, to me, they're ignorant. So I just go over that again because it really does. I'm still angry about this. It really pisses me off. Now, the person saying not all scapegoats turn out to be narcissists, like my sister and mother. But it is not as uncommon as you might think. So what she's saying is it's common. That's what she's saying. Bullshit. Bullshit. And then saying, I said she was evil because her actions were evil. Really? What actions? And the thing is that the scapegoat, thing people need to understand is a scapegoat can have lots of anger. Like you have built up anger because of the unfair treatment. You know, if the other sibling is, I only have one sister, older one, the favoritism, um, being compared to your golden child sibling unfavorably, being blamed for things that aren't your fault, being held for things, responsible for things that aren't your responsibility. Anything you do that is good is totally ignored. I'll give you an example just to make a point of what I'm getting at. And this is when I was already grown up. I was at home. My parents went out of town for a wedding. And in my growing up in that house there, they have what's the old tile floors that were made out of, they used asbestos. Those tile, the floors, if you use the old paste wax, you have to put that on, and then you have like a little buffer, like a polisher. And you have the brushes, and then you have the lamb's wool you put on there, and then you buff it up to polish the floor. Okay, it's a lot of work. So like I said, I was grown up by then, and I don't know, 18 or whatever I was. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I was grown up by then. Or if I was, yeah, I would say so. Okay, so what happened was they went out. This is just an example what I'm getting at. So they went out of town over the weekend for a wedding. So what I did was, and I used to do this when I was younger. I can't do it anymore, but I did this. I used to be on, and I'm not asking for pity. I'm just making a point here of the example, so no one, twists it around. I washed the floor on my hands and knees by hand. That's how I used to wash floors when I was young. Best way to do it, but if you're not, if you're healthy and young, yeah, you can do that all day and all night. That's what I did. So I washed the floor on my hands and knees. I had to wash the floor first, and you let it dry, then you rub in the paste wax. Same thing, hands and knees. And then after that, then you let that dry a bit, and then you buff it with the polisher, the floor polisher. Okay, I did that, and it takes time, and it's hard work. It's work. Okay, so I did all that, made it nice, shining, spotless. And you know what? When my parents came home, they never acknowledged I did anything. They didn't acknowledge that it was done. There was no thank you, nothing. That's an example how you're treated when you're a scapegoat. Okay? So even if you do something that's good, it's not acknowledged. It's actually totally not acknowledged at all, or it's devalued. You're invalidated. And that's how they treat the scapegoat. Plus blame everything on them. What's their fault, what's not their fault, don't matter. I mean, the worst thing I was, like another example, the worst thing I was blamed for was my mom blamed me when my dad died for his death, believe it or not. Why did he die? He was born with heart issues, but yet he had no problem being an alcoholic. Okay? He was an alcoholic. He quit after, but he was an alcoholic. No one made him be an alcoholic. Alcoholics have weak minds. I have no respect for alcoholics. I really have a problem with alcoholics. There's other ways to deal with your issues. You don't need to be an alcoholic or a drug addict. But anyways, he was an alcoholic. Or like I made that name up today, alcoholic. Okay, so he had heart issues. He's born like that. He couldn't even get life insurance because of that, right? Too high risk. So that was even before he, grown up or whatever. So he had these issues. He was an alcoholic. He smoked cigarettes. Later, he graduated from that, went to pipe smoking. He quit and eventually quit, and then eventually quit drinking too. When I was in high school later on, but he was still the attitude, stinky thinking. just like a dry drunk. Okay. So all that is not good for his health because of the heart thing. And then he also had the type 2 diabetic thing when he was older. And he died at about like 52. So what happened was he had 3 heart attacks. The third heart attack, that's it. He's gone. And yet my mom has the nerve to blame me for my dad's death. Really. I mean, because of how he grew up, I had problems. The first husband I had was a terrible person. I had to get rid of him. Um, there was issues, but I took care of it though. Was I left him. I got rid of him. Right when I had my baby, I wasn't gonna put up with it. So yeah, so she's claiming whatever, like stress or whatever. Yeah, okay. And she never caused any stress. Like they were arguing, fighting like cats and dogs all the time. Really. So that's how bad it gets. When you're the scapegoat, you actually, like I said, be blamed for something like that. Like blamed for my dad's death, believe it or not. When he was 52, he died of heart attack. But yet he had heart issues. He was an alcoholic, plus the diabetic thing and smoking. No, of course that didn't help his health, did it? Of course that didn't do any damage to his health. It's all my fault, right? Bullshit, bullshit. So that's an example of what kind of bullshit you get when you're the scapegoat. So that's why I take issue with this person saying the scapegoat's evil because her actions are evil. Like I don't know what her sister did, if anything, and saying scapegoats turn out to be narcissists. It's not uncommon, which means it's common. What a bunch of crap. What a bunch of crap. And then to be a condescending and say, I have a lack of education, what makes someone a narcissist. Really? Crap, crap. I figured you were the scapegoat. Oh, really? Really? What a. Ugh. Not everything is about you, though, hon. Really? I mean, what kind of. That really burns me. That makes me angry. I mean, this is like going on like day 2. I'm still angry. I'm steaming over this. It makes me angry. It does. Just reminds me how I was treated when I was growing up. The same old shit. Feels the same. It pisses me off. You seem to have a lack of education on what makes somebody a narcissist. I figured you were the scapegoat. Not everything is about you, though, hon. Ugh. I don't like someone calling these terms of endearment, but they're obviously not sincere. Like, really. So I don't know what more I can say about this. Really isn't anything. So basically, just saying, I'm pissed about this. This is stupid, retarded. I'm not going to waste my time empathizing with people like this. So if you want to be an asshole, be an asshole. Whatever. I'm not going to say who it is either. Someone figures out. Oh well. And other than that, just a warning. Just be careful because, like I said, and other people have pointed this out on here on YouTube that there's some people that are doing these narcissist videos that they're narcissists themselves. They're what they're talking about. And I believe that to be true. I really do. So there's lots of stuff out, good videos out there to listen to. I listen to that help. Whatever's crap, just throw it in the garbage where it belongs. And then that's it. So that's all I have to say about that. That's about it. Thanks for listening. Bye.